Hello and welcome to our episode 5 of Holy Shiitake, the podcast where we talk about Japanese culture and kind of compare it with other parts of the world. Today I am joined live for the first time on camera by Jenny. Hello Jenny, how are you?
Hello, Florent. I'm finally here, alive, and yes, guys, I'm alive. I'm not just a photo. I'm not a talking photo.
This is great, Okay, I got this. This is not scripted at all. Wow! You cut your hair!
Oh yeah, I cut my hair.
What happened? Your hair fell off. It became short all of a sudden.
It became bat wings.
It became bat wings. Oh no.
What a crappy joke.
Best intro of all time.
Okay, so some of my listeners are my friends, and they're probably gonna be like, "What the is that?" Yeah. So, for those who have been watching the news, currently Japan is really under a serious situation. I know this is like a funny intro, but let's be serious a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. So currently there's a big typhoon happening in Japan right now. It's actually going on around Tokyo area on the middle part of Japan, and it started yesterday, and I was just watching the news yesterday, and the area called Chiba, it's just an hour from Tokyo, is really seriously damaged, and some parts near the area is also damaged. So for those who are staying in there, I hope you guys are safe, and yeah, just stay safe and stay warm. I actually contacted some of my friends, especially my host family who lives in Chiba, and I'm really glad that they're safe. My friend also lives in Nagoya. She is, her area is not really that affected, but I'm glad that, she's also safe. Although one of my friends, her name is Yurie, and she lives in Kanagawa, that area is affected. Good to know that she's safe. However, the area there is really in a serious situation. So I really hope a lot of people are safe and, are in good condition, because there are a lot of properties damaged in just 2 days. So I'm quite concerned about that.
That's not good.
Yeah. A lot of my friends also contacted me, and they're like calling me asking if I'm okay. I'm totally okay. I'm here in Sapporo. It's like, the northernmost part of of Japan. So
Yeah.
I'm totally fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Do you get typhoons too sometimes? You do, right? Kind of.
We do, but not mostly in Hokkaido. The problem with Hokkaido, though, I mean, the situation we usually have is during winter.
Okay.
So Hokkaido has very extreme snowstorms, especially in the countryside. So that's the serious part of Hokkaido. We don't really experience earthquakes or floods or heavy rains. As what I mentioned earlier, what we usually focus on is winter, because our winter season is really harsh, which we're going to talk about in winter this year. How cold is Hokkaido? So
yeah, we'll have an episode for that.
Yeah, we're going to have an episode of that, and I'm going to, to share my experiences, how cold it really is, and what's the situation during winter here in Hokkaido.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd like to shout out to my friend Erwin Cruz and his wife Chetty from Calgary, Canada.
Hello.
So they're listening right now, and actually Erwin is recording his songs, and he's putting it on Spotify, and I think he's also yeah.
Does it have his things on there already?
Yeah, his band is called Edge Skyline, and he's actually the main, the main vocals of the band. The band is actually a Filipino-Canadian pop music, and most of his songs are written by him. So if you guys are interested in listening to his songs, so his band name is called Edge Skyline, and it's available on Spotify and iTunes.
Nice, Edge Skyline. For those watching us on YouTube, after that episode was live or listening to us on Google Play, iTunes and Spotify, I will put all those links in the description below, so it will be easier for you guys to find them on Spotify. I might even put a link to it on my Twitch page.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, and by the way, I have something to share too.
Okay, go for it.
So I went to 7-Eleven 2 weeks ago, and I found this Halloween special chips.
Halloween special chips.
Yes, and it's called Jagabee.
Okay.
All right. So Jagabee is a popular snack for kids.
Okay.
And this is actually a Halloween. Hollywood? What? Halloween.
I mean, sometimes it's almost the same thing when you look at it.
It's a Halloween version of the chips. So it's like usually it's, like typical potato chips, but this one is like, it looks like a rotten version. So I hope it's not rotten. So let's find out.
Oh, you haven't even tried it before, so okay, yeah.
No.
All right.
This is my first time.
Let's have a look. Maybe we'll have Jenny die on camera for the first time she's showing up. This is gonna be great.
Or turn into a zombie.
Or turn into a zombie.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Oh God.
First reaction. Oh God. Oh shit.
Oh, so I opened it and it looked like literally molded, expired potato.
Ew,
Can you see it?
I can't. I don't know if the viewers can, but Holy Shiitake.
Okay, so oh gross. It looks like it has molds, literally.
Okay, so
it smells like typical potato chips, to be fair.
that looks weird. Hello, Chetty. Chetty's in the chat.
Oh, hello, Chetty. So yeah, right now I'm gonna taste these disgusting looking moldy thingies.
It really looks bad. I hope it. Oh, it's crunchy.
To be fair, it's okay.
What does it taste like?
Well, it tastes like the typical potato chips, crunchy. I think this is just food coloring, black food coloring.
Okay, all right. Puff in the chat as well. Welcome.
Okay, so all right, so probably the black one is black powder.
Okay, of some kind.
Food coloring, and the flavor is consomme. So consomme. So it means, the MSG Nor cubes or whatever.
MSG flavored.
Yeah, it's MSG flavored potato chips. It just looks gross, but it's okay. So I'll not finish it because I might actually I'm starting to die.
Oh no.
So let me finish the topic today before I I die from this thing.
A weird potato chips thing.
Yeah, so this is about 100 yen. So with tax, that's 110 yen. So that's $1.10,
Like
I think.
Yeah, about $1 or something. US.
Yeah, $1.10. So it's pretty good.
It's a nice little snack.
I wouldn't say it's the best in my opinion. It's just like ordinary chips, just colored. It looks gross. I think that's the thrill of it, the Halloween version of it.
Do you guys have like an actual Halloween thing in Japan? Is that a thing?
It's not really a thing in the countryside, but it is a thing in Tokyo, which we can talk about probably in another episode. But it's not really a traditional Japanese thing. Probably it's like an Americanized version, Japanese style.
Right. That's kind of how we have it in Europe as well. Even though a lot of people say that Halloween, the tradition, started in Europe.
Okay.
It's really more of a North American thing, I guess. Like in terms of visibility and like the way it's marketed and everything. And I know it started coming to Europe a bit before I left, actually. So like I want to say about 15 years ago. Where people actually started dressing up, they started having like the Halloween parties and all that stuff. But yeah, I was kind of curious to see if it's probably the same thing in Japan, I guess, like in big cities and stuff. It's like the kind of the American influence for that kind of stuff.
Okay, so maybe the viewers are listening, but I have to apologize. I wasn't because I was distracted by what you're wearing right now. Oh my god!
Best hat ever, okay? You can't beat me.
I can't handle it. What the is that?
Okay, so I got this hat because, as some of you guys might know, watching us, I'm a big K-pop fan.
Okay.
And my favorite band is Blackpink. Okay?
Oh, I know that. I like Lisa.
Lisa's the best. Okay? Alright? See, that's why we're best friends. We understand each other. That's great. So
Okay.
Lisa and Jenny are my favorite because, I don't know, Jen, Lisa, the whole shit going on. But anyway, during one of the fan meetings they had, I think earlier this year, Jenny had one of those during the meetings when she was doing the signings and stuff. And I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. I want one. So,
Oh my god.
So I bought one.
Oh my god.
And I have
All right. Okay, that's enough. Let's do the superstition thingy.
There's a Pikachu version too.
I don't want to know that, but I don't, I want to know that.
I'm not too big in Pokemon, so I don't really care about the Pikachu one, but I might just get it for the collection. We'll see.
Okay, so let's start with today's episode: superstitions and spooky.
Yeah, superstitions and spooky stuff in Japan. I'm sure there are quite a few of those, aren't there?
Well, I am going to just mention about 6 of them, and I want to compare them with my country because, in
Right.
fact, a lot of them are quite similar.
I think, like, I have a feeling some superstitions are kind of like the same all over the world. Like, I was kind of skimming through some of the articles you sent me earlier.
Okay.
Because, we want to be prepared, even though we're not, but that's okay. Today we're kind of just winging the episode for those watching, so don't pay, like, it's okay. It's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. But yeah, I was going kind of like over those articles that you sent me, and I did see a few things that are also kind of true in Europe and in North America. So I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious. So we can talk about that.
Okay.
All right. So what's one of the big superstitions that that is in Japan, and maybe that you've like experienced from people?
Okay. I haven't really experienced it, although it has, like it's a number of them are familiar in the Philippines. So the first one is if you put your pillow to the north, to the north. If you put your pillow to the north, you will die early. Can we have a sound effect? Higher. No.
Oh shit! See, I was not prepared. I don't have my sound effects. I don't know where they are. Okay.
No!
Ooh, okay, I'll make it. I'll do it. Ooh.
Yeah, so if you put your pillow to the north, you will die early. In the Philippines, okay, so what is this put your pillow to the north? I think we have a photo, Florent.
I do have a photo somewhere.
So while you are at it, I'd like to explain that. It's like saying when you're putting your pillow while at sleep, in the north, I don't know if you're gonna use a compass or something, but in the north, it's considered bad luck because in Japanese rituals during funerals, usually the what do you call that? The body is positioned to the north, but I don't know. Do they have to like use a compass? Oh, this is the north. Over here's the north.
Well, I mean, a lot of people can kind of know where north is because
Well, I don't.
You can just look at where the sun is in the sky. You can kind of decide, like, orient yourself,
really?
right? Well, yeah, because the sun goes from east to west,
Okay.
right?
I didn't know that.
So, because the sun is going east to west, if you like think of it, then you know where north is because it's just the other way, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
So I'd like to compare that to the Philippines. It actually is similar.
Okay.
So we have a superstition where instead of the north, it's heading to the door. So if we put our bed, like in a position close to the door,
Okay.
it means it means our bodies are heading to death.
It's so weird.
So, instead of positioning them in front of the door, we have to position them like at least, away from the door.
Okay.
Like our foot or our head should not lead to the door because we believe that it's like a doorway to death. I don't think half of the listeners are happy when you do that. But yeah, well, what do you think? What do you think about this superstition?
I don't know. I just okay.
Is it similar to France or Canada?
No, see, like that's one of those. Like I have not heard of that before, which is it's really
Oh.
strange to me. Like I don't understand like the idea behind it.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess, if you understand, like if you look at the beliefs or whatever. But I don't know. That's not a thing I'm very familiar with.
Oh, so by
Yeah.
the way, the photo that Florence just posted is submitted by Sebastian Bertrand from Flickr, and the bed right over there in the picture are futons. So those are Japanese futons.
Right.
Yeah. So usually, well, as what we see on anime, Japanese futons are usually on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it doesn't matter if it's a futon or not, as long as it's faced. If your pillow is faced to the north,
Right.
then yes, they believe that it's bad luck. Okay.
Which is very strange. So those are futons with the pillows facing north. So don't sleep on those, guys. Okay, especially those ones, because you might have a problem.
Or probably you can just use a compass. Where is the north? Okay, there's the north. I have to face on the other side. All right, so number 2. Don't clean your house on New Year's Day.
Really?
Don't clean your house on New Year's Day. This is actually funny because we have a similar belief in the Philippines.
Okay.
So on New Year's Eve, we believe that we should not sweep our floors or clean whatsoever on New Year's Eve or on, during the morning after New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Well, according to Japanese superstitions, during New Year's, the gods and the goddesses come inside houses to give blessings. And they believe that if you sweep the floors or clean whatever, you are driving them away.
Oh,
So it's the same in the Philippines.
interesting.
So we believe that, the new spirits are coming, new blessings are coming. So we have to be prepared for that. So we can clean, but as long as it's not during New Year's Eve or the day
All right.
after New Year's Eve.
All right.
And yeah.
My question is, like, who came up with that? Because let's be honest, it's New Year's Eve and it's New Year's Day. Who the hell wants to clean their place on New Year's Day when they've been partying all night and they're probably drunk as like?
Probably our grandmas.
I guess. I mean,
Oh, my dear grandson, you have been entering for like quite some time. I'm going to clean the bottles now. That doesn't sound a grandma. That sounds like a witch.
I mean, no, it's a good time for that, I guess. Okay, all right.
So it's not. There's no similarity in your country,
No,
in France.
we
in
don't have that
Canada.
either. Like, you guys have weird stuff, man.
Well, you guys are weird too.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay, so for the listeners, if you want to share the superstitions in your country, just type it there, and we can announce it while we are sharing our topics.
Yes, please do
during
so.
this podcast.
Yes, share
All
with
right?
us. Share your stories with us in the chat, and we'll talk about it.
Okay, now let's go to the third superstition. Okay, that's scripted. So when
Oh no!
you-
Wait! I missed it. Oh shit!
When you sneeze, right? When
Bless-
you sneeze,
Bless you.
well, yeah, aside from being blessed, someone is talking about you.
Oh, we have that one. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I actually use that a lot myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if I sneeze, and especially if I sneeze several times in a row,
Oh,
I'm like, who the hell is talking shit about me right now?
wait, hold on. You said several.
Yeah.
Okay, there are meanings in each number of sneezes.
Oh no. Okay, let's go.
You got to listen to this.
Okay.
Okay. One sneeze means someone is talking about you.
Okay.
That's one sneeze. Like what I just did a while ago. Well, that's scripted, so that's not counted. The next one is if there are two sneezes, it means someone is saying bad things about you.
All right.
3 sneezes means, oh, someone has just fallen in love with you.
Just like that. Wow. Okay.
Just like that. And you
So-
said several.
So you go from someone talking shit about you to someone actually liking you.
So you have to count your sneezes. So how
Okay.
how many times was that at that time when you sneezed?
I don't know, man. That happens sometimes.
7? You have to count.
I don't know. I don't remember. Okay, next time that happens, next time I start sneezing, I'll count them, and then when I know, I'll text you about it. I'll be like, yo, Jenny, stop talking shit about me.
You think it's me?
I don't know. Could be anyone, really.
Okay, I have to say, we also have the same thing in the Philippines.
Okay.
So if somebody sneezes, we also believe that somebody is talking about you. But it doesn't matter how many sneezes, though.
All right.
1, 2, or 3, we just feel that, oh, somebody's talking about you. Who could that be?
Yeah.
So, you know.
So it's kind of the same thing that I know. Like, it doesn't really matter how many times you sneeze. It's just like someone's talking shit about you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so negative.
It is. I mean, you know, I am French. We're pretty negative as it is, but
Okay. All right. So, do you have anything else that you'd like to, say about the sneezing
I
thing?
don't know. So Amber's grandmother, she's sharing a
Oh.
chat. Sometimes sneezes like 5 or 6 times in a row.
5 or 6 times in a row. Wow,
What?
she got a lot of stalkers in there.
What does that mean?
Well, 3 sneezes means someone has just fallen in love with you. So 3 times 3 makes it 3 people.
Holy. Okay then.
Must be a stalker.
Yep. There you go. It's official. Amber's grandmother has a stalker.
Oh. Probably from the grave. Ooh. Here we go. Okay, now let's talk about lucky and unlucky numbers.
All right.
Actually, yeah.
I have those. Those are really stupid, but I have those too.
Okay, so can you share something about that?
My lucky number is 12.
Your lucky number is 12.
Yes. Don't ask me why. It's just because it's a magic number to me. It's just 12.
12 means December, means Christmas, means dozen roses. What am I talking about?
I have no idea. I have no idea. For the longest time, okay, when I was younger, my numbers were 7 and 11. Nothing to do with with the convenience store. We're not sponsored. But it used to be 7 and 11. And the reason why is because I used to play soccer.
Okay.
And so when I was on my main team, I was goalie, so I was number 1. That doesn't matter. But sometimes I used to play with the team that was like above us, like older than me. Because sometimes they needed like someone to fill in, and they would just bring me in to play for them. But when I would play for them, I would play either as number 7 or number 11, which are positions on the field. So, so the 7 is like right wing and the 11 is left wing. I used to play either of those and usually do pretty good. So that's why for the longest time when I was younger, like 7 and 11 were kind of my numbers.
So what happened then?
I don't know.
Did you win the games?
I won many games, yeah.
Oh, you should use that in the lottery.
Yeah, like on my regular team, not with that higher team, but on my regular team, we were actually classed fairly high in the regional standings.
Oh.
Yeah, man, I used to be good at soccer.
You don't suck in soccer.
Well, I mean, today maybe, but back then, nope, I didn't.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, man. I played soccer for like many, many years.
Damn, is that a French thing? Okay, being racist here.
It is a very European thing, yeah, I guess. It's kind of like, kind of like in North America, kids play football or play baseball. Well, in Europe, you usually play like soccer or rugby and shit like that.
So do you call that soccer in Europe?
No, we call it football.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
We call it football because, I mean, we're playing the ball with our feet, so football.
Yeah, which is more correct, right?
Yeah, that's. For some reason, Americans renamed it soccer because they had their own version of football where they don't even use their feet.
Okay, I don't want to say more about that.
But anyway, that's a story for another day, I guess.
Okay, so let's talk about unlucky and lucky numbers.
All right. What are your lucky numbers and unlucky numbers?
Well, for me personally, my lucky number is 8, which also in Chinese belief is lucky because 8 means forever.
Oh, it's like the infinite sign. All right.
Yeah. So in the Philippines, there are a lot of stores and a lot of restaurants that have a name of 8, like Lucky 8, 888 store, or even their delivery numbers, 888, 8888.
Wow, that's a lot of 8s.
Yeah, so they believe that's lucky. Unfortunately, I'm just going to mention the unlucky numbers in Japan.
All right. We have some other. I don't know. Maybe they were like kind of intersect with yours, but we have those also in North America a lot. I have not noticed them as much in Europe. But we have some numbers that are not used in North America because of superstitions. So we can talk about that.
Oh,
all right. So what are the unlucky numbers in Japan?
So the unlucky number, I think a lot of you guys know, it's number 4.
Number 4, because.
So 4 means in kanji it means shi for death.
Right.
So like shine.
Yeah.
So from that word, shi and then ne, like just die, just
right.
Shine. You know what I mean? In anime.
That's a very anime thing to do. Shine.
Yes, exactly. So that's number 4. And then number 9, not so much. 4 is more focused, but I didn't know number 9 is also unlucky. So from the kanji, 9 means ku, and it kind of sounds like kutsu. So it's a different. There's a different pronunciation between kutsu and kutsu.
Okay.
So kutsu is shoes, and kutsu means pain.
Oh.
So death and pain.
Death and pain. Phoenix, welcome in the chat. So 9 is an unlucky number. So is that why the game Mighty Number 9 just sucks?
I don't know.
Okay.
You
So
tell me.
so I don't know if you know about that, but so Mighty Number Nine was a game made by shit, I forgot his name. The dude who used to make all the Mega Man games,
Okay.
right? And he went to Kickstarter because he wanted to make a new type of game like that. Uh,
Okay.
but Capcom didn't want to make one. So he went to Kickstarter and was like, yo guys, give me money and I'll make you a new Mega Man style game kind of thing.
And then?
So everybody gave him a shitload of money, lots of money. And they made the game, and the game was called Mighty Number 9. And the game sucked. It's actually not a good game at all. It's
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not a good game. It doesn't look very good, and the whole marketing campaign around it, especially here in North America, was just a disaster. It was a disaster. It was like so offensive to gamers and to like
Oh, really?
to weeaboos and anime fans and stuff. It's like they were like purposely like trying to piss off those fans because
Oh.
for some reason. And when the game came out, it just was not a good game at all. It just was not a very good game.
Oh, wow.
So I just find it funny that it's called Mighty Number 9, and you're just telling us that 9 is actually kind of not a good number.
Okay, that's probably a coincidence.
Yeah, it probably is. I just found it funny.
I don't know that game though.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like it was a small game, like kind of indie style game.
Okay.
I think it came on PS4 and on PC. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. But
Well, in what year? 1999?
No. Mighty Number 9 came out like what, 3 years ago? I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, not super long ago. It might be a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Ah.
And because of that, like that was during that wave of everybody going to Kickstarter to get their game started. That's why how we got like Shenmue 3. That's how we got Bloodstained and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the flop from Mighty Number 9, it made a lot of people very nervous about first putting their games on Kickstarter, but also for people to actually give their money to those games, because ultimately you give your money to a game that comes out like 2-3 years later and it could be just a shitty game.
Oh, wow.
So people became very nervous about that. Like it basically like it changed a lot of things in the indie gaming industry and the way they fund their games now.
So you mean a lot of games try to avoid the number 9?
I don't know. I mean, I would think so, especially from Japan. Like, if 9 is a bad number, why would you put 9 in your game?
Well, to be fair, for gamers out there and for fans, Final Fantasy IX, please correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's one of the least popular games in the Final Fantasy series, I think.
I don't know. I think Final Fantasy IX is kind of a divisive title because it has like a very, very dedicated fan base. It's for a lot of Final Fantasy fans, it's either Final Fantasy IX is the best of all series,
I thought so.
or just people don't care about it. I personally do not care about Final Fantasy IX. Like I played through it and I remember nothing of it.
Exactly, me too. So it's like a one-hit wonder game.
Like it came, like it was still using the same concept as Final Fantasy 7 and 8 back in the
Yeah.
days. So with like 3 characters on like 2D backgrounds and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, for a lot of people, 9 was the best, and I'm like, okay, cool.
So it's like it's either you like it or you don't.
Yeah, like either you really really love it, or you just don't give a shit about it.
Well, I'm the second part.
Same.
I don't really.
Same. Like for real. Like my best Final Fantasy, my favorite Final Fantasy games are 6, 7, and maybe 10.
And maybe 10. Okay.
Depending on days, because some days 10 is really really good. Some days it's like depending on how I play it. But anything after that, I'm like,
Okay. All right, now let's go to number 5.
Oh wait, okay. We were talking about unlucky numbers. So I want to talk about the unlucky numbers in North America. So obviously we all know the 666, as someone said in the chat.
Ah, okay.
That's the devil's number, whatever. But One of the unlucky numbers is number 13.
Yes, exactly.
Right, because Friday the 13th and all that stuff, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes to some extent that in a lot of buildings, you don't actually have a 13th floor.
Well, guess what? It's the same here in Japan.
I'm guessing with the floor number 4, right?
4 and 13
4
usually.
and 13, okay.
Yeah,
So-
I noticed that.
Right, so in a lot of buildings here, when you go in the elevator, it goes from like 11, 12, 14. Like
Exactly.
it doesn't go
And
to floor 13.
I don't remember if they have 4th floors here in Japan, although I've been to some buildings in Tokyo,
Yeah.
specifically the old buildings, they don't have 4th floor and 13th
And
floor.
13th floor, right. Someone in the chat says the Empire State Building in the States and many hotels actually do that. They don't have a 13th floor.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's the
And-
same in the Philippines.
Like in a lot of cases as well, because now when they build the things, there is obviously a 13th floor because you can't just like have a place with no floor, like the building wouldn't. Phoenix, hi. Phoenix says hi in the chat. But in a lot of the buildings, they don't actually use the 13th floor, so it's either empty or they use it for like storage and stuff like that. And I've heard some stories in some buildings where you need to actually use a special elevator to get to that floor because the main elevator doesn't stop at that floor, obviously, because it's I don't know, it's weird. Like I feel it's a little
Right.
I feel it's a little extreme, but it's kind of interesting. When I heard about that the first time, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Actually, I'd like to share about the 13th floor thing. So we have this building that we used to work to, my sister and I, Chloe.
Right.
We work at this building where there is actually a 13th floor.
Yeah.
And funny to see that because if I remember, our floor was on the 14th floor.
Okay.
So of course, before we hit the 14th floor, we have to hit 10th or 11th or 12th for, some people who work in there.
Right.
And then usually we skip floor number 13, which is kind of funny because why is there a 13th floor
Yeah.
in that building? So there was one time, right? There was one time it literally stopped on the 13th floor for no reasons at all. So it was just me and my sister and one of our friends. And I don't know why. It was around after lunch. And we were supposed to go to the 14th floor. And out of the blue, it just paused to 13th floor.
13th.
It opened on its own. So we're like, what is going on? Lo and behold, 13th floor has nothing.
Yeah, it was empty. Yeah.
It was empty, but only with like scattered boxes, old stuff, but
Okay, yeah.
nothing.
That-
Concrete and just it's like an unfinished floor.
Right.
And yeah, it's pretty creepy. What are you doing?
Hold on, my internet kind of jumped, so I cut out a little bit. But yeah, I understand. Like some buildings do that too, and other buildings just like they actually renamed the 13th floor to like 14.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some people do
it's
that.
usually
because you don't want to waste the space, which makes sense because it's so expensive to build, right?
right for the sake of superstition. Why
Yeah.
why would you do that?
Right.
Okay, so anything else you'd like to share about lucky and unlucky numbers?
No, I think we're good. I think we're good. Your story about stopping to the 13th floor there, for no reason was kind of creepy. So,
Exactly right.
Interesting. Ooh.
Okay, that scared the shit out of me. That was not scripted, man.
Nope.
That was not scripted.
I'm going off script for that one.
Okay, now let's go to the 5th superstition.
All right.
This is also same with the Philippines. Don't take pictures of 3 people side by side.
Interesting. Why?
Oh, you do? Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not a thing.
I don't know that one. No. What's wrong with not taking pictures?
All right, so
of 3 people? Welcome, Ken, in the chat. Yes, Jenny has a webcam.
hello, kid. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm moving.
She's moving for
Moving.
real. This is not a recording, not scripted at all.
I'm not the photo that does like
Wow, you're doing it. Wow.
Anyway, okay. All right, so the reason for that, for
You're pretty good at
Japanese
it.
belief, the reason is because the one in the middle will die. The one in the middle will die.
Okay.
Which is funny because in the Philippines, we also believe that.
Okay. So what happens if you're just a group of 4 friends?
That's totally okay because it's an even number.
Yep.
Oh, wait, hold on.
But you're a group of 4 friends and then going somewhere, you know, like as a tourist or whatever, and want to take a picture. Someone has to take the picture.
But and also that 4 means death, right?
Right, in Japan, 4 means death. Okay.
And it's kind of funny because in the Philippines, it's kind of we have a there's a belief wherein if you are 3 people, it's the same thing. We the one in the middle is in danger, and then if there are also 4 people, 4 means death in Japan. So we're like, oh, we need to have at least 5 or 6 or 2 or just yourself. So some people, some superstitious people try to evade, you know, taking pictures
Okay.
of 3 or 4 or whatever.
Interesting. Ken in the chat says it should have been dead a long time ago then.
Who said that?
Ken?
Well, guess what, Ken? You might be a ghost now.
Oh no. Ken's actually a zombie, doesn't even know it.
I guess so.
Hey, you need to like send him some of your like zombie fries or some shit they had earlier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, have you seen this, Ken? I'm gonna have to eat a little bit. What am I just doing? Yeah, that's just a Halloween chip break.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm being rude right now. Yeah, so anything else you want to react about taking pictures of 3 people and, you know, believing that it's unlucky because the one in the middle will die?
Yeah, no, I have actually never heard that one before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a new thing to me.
Must be an Asian thing.
Must be an Asian thing, yeah, I guess.
Have you, or do you know the movie Shutter? Not the Hollywood version. The Asian version.
The name sounds familiar. I don't know if I've watched it. Let me Google it.
I don't know if it's a Japanese original movie or it's a Thai or I don't know if it's Southeast Asian, but I have watched it actually. It was freaky.
Was it?
But I think there was a scene in the movie. There was a scene where there were 3 people who took a, you know, who there were 3 people in the photo.
Okay.
And I think the middle character's face became blurry, and it was, according to the story, once your face becomes blurry, you're the one who's gonna die next, kind of thing. In the movie. I watched that movie, and dude, I cannot finish the whole thing. I just can't. It's just too scary for me.
So Ken in the chat says he actually has heard of it before because of his mother. Ken is Filipino, as we know. What is part Filipino?
Yeah, he is.
So yeah, interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. I guess it is an Asian thing, Japanese and Filipino thing. Shutter, by the way, originally is a 2004 Thai movie, Thai horror film.
Oh, there you go.
Which was remade in 2008 by a Japanese dude. Called Masayuki Ochiai.
Okay.
And it has 9% on Rotten Tomatoes, so not a very good movie.
How about the Thai version?
The Thai version. Let me see if I can actually... I don't know if the Thai version is on the Rotten Tomato. Oh, wait. Wikipedia. Oh, I got it here. It has 7.1 on IMDb, the Thai version. So it's actually not too bad. Better than the remake one, which is...
Yeah, the remakes are not really a good version. Yeah. So, yeah. Although, well, in my opinion, I really got scared with that because... I don't want to tell the entire story, but there was a time where the photographer was, investigating why people are dying.
Right.
And then when he was in the scene, there was a part where all the lights were shut and he couldn't get away, and there's this monster chasing him. So for his way to go out from the building, he needs to take pictures so he can see the way, which is kind of creepy because you need to use your flash,
Right.
to take pictures for you to go on your exit. And then later, when you take a picture, suddenly the image of the monster is right on your face.
It reminds me of that game, Fatal Frame.
Exactly.
Right?
I think it was inspired by that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, probably might have been. A very creepy game, Fatal
Inspired
Frame.
by that game. Yeah.
I played one of them. I don't remember which one it was, but I like the concept of it. But anyway, that's another topic.
Okay. And now for the last but not the least
All right.
superstition.
Give me a good one. Give me a good one. Let's go.
Okay, so don't cut your fingernails at night.
Okay.
Don't cut your fingernails at night. So this is also similar to the Philippines.
All right.
So according to Japanese urban legends, cutting your nails at night can lead to an early death.
Again, what's up with everybody dying when you do something?
Probably it's because it's the scariest thing to ever happen in your life.
Is it though?
Oh, so you're not afraid of death?
Have you tried paying taxes?
Well, that's debt, not death.
I mean,
That's debt.
it's pretty close sometimes.
I don't think so, because if you're dead, you don't need to pay taxes.
Yeah, but if you can pay your taxes, you may as well just be dead.
Well, yeah, but once you're dead, you don't have to pay taxes.
I mean, that's fair, I guess.
But that's another thing.
Okay, so like the moral of the story is if you have debt, just cut your nails at night. This way, hopefully next week you won't have to worry about that anymore.
Oh. I don't know why, but probably because I cannot really explain. Actually, I remember when I was about to go to bed and I noticed that my nails were long. I was about like 6 or 7 years old.
Okay.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I can cut my nails all by myself. So yeah,
See? Ken in the chat says taxes can be murder.
But that's true.
Yep. Ken knows what's up.
That's true. Although that's another story.
Yeah. Okay, but sorry. Go ahead. So you were like 6 or 7 years old, and you wanted to cut your nails.
And then,
okay.
And then my grandma was like, "Hold it! Don't cut your nails." Oh well, she didn't exactly say it like that, but she spanked my hands, and she was like, "Don't cut your nails at night." And I was like, "Why?" And she was like, "Because you're gonna die early," and that scared the out of me. Because come on, I was like 5 or 6 at that time, 6 or 7 or whatsoever. So of course, coming from my grandma, I would be like, "Okay." For no reason, I will not do that anymore. So ever since, I just stopped cutting my nails at night. I had to like wait until I wake up in the morning and I'm like, "Okay, I can cut my nails now. I can cut my nails."
That's funny.
So yeah, it's also a thing in the Philippines.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, we don't have that in Europe or North America. I haven't heard that one before either. Chat in the chat says, according to some stories, cutting your nails at night brings about some spirits that cuts off your life's thread. In other versions, your head.
Ooh. Oh, stop! Your voice is terrible. I mean, I'm not saying your voice is bad.
What's wrong with my voice?
The bass on your voice, it gets into my ear, in my earphones over here. So, when you do that.
That's funny.
But luckily, it's morning today, so I'm not really 100% creeped out. But
okay, and it's morning, which means you can cut your nails if you want to.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly my thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, Chedi says Japanese folk tale. But yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that stuff.
Yes, and that's all six that I'd like to share you. There are actually a lot more, but
So many, so many. One that I find interesting.
mhm.
I kind of run through it, and I didn't actually know the reason behind it.
Okay.
But there is this thing in Japanese um, tradition, I guess, where you shouldn't stick your chopsticks in your food,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because so I never knew the reason for that. I just knew it was a bad thing to do and you shouldn't do it because I've been told that much. Like don't stick your things in there. But apparently it's because it's part of the funeral ritual,
Exactly.
which is why you shouldn't do that because basically it's kind of like inviting death.
Well,
Like
also it's because it's not just in Japan, it's in the entire East Asia.
okay,
And like Chinese people or Buddhists, whatever the race or color, as long as
right,
you're Buddhist, they have a ritual wherein they put like incense and stick it to the in a bowl of ash,
right,
and it's like a ritual for dead people.
hmm,
So if someone dies or if they visit the dead, that's what they do.
right,
So during a meal, it's not really proper to do that because it's like you are going to a funeral or something.
okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, Ken's saying that his mom used to be really mad at him
Oh, wow.
every time he would stick something in his food like that.
Probably it's because it's just plain rude, right, Ken?
I don't know, maybe.
Actually, speaking of plates and dishes and food, we also have a Filipino superstition wherein if your parents or your relatives are going out,
Yep.
like if they're traveling or going to work or just going outside the house, in the middle of your meal, you have to, like once they leave the gate or once they leave the house, you have to turn the plates around so they can go back to their house safely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a thing in the Philippines. I don't know if it's a popular belief, but we were told this by our famous grandmother.
Interesting. But like, who would leave in the middle of a meal though?
Well, usually my parents do because they go to work, and my Chloe and my brother were like around between 10 to 12 years of age, and at that time we're going to school, and usually our parents go to work early at around 6 or 7 in the morning,
Okay.
and and usually at that time we eat our breakfast.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, our family actually told us that oh, we're leaving now, you have to turn your plates
Interesting.
like
Turn your plates on your bowls so we can make sure to come back home later.
maybe, but we believe that.
I
We
mean,
believe that.
that's the thing with superstitions, right? They don't necessarily have any grounds in reality, I feel, but because of the beliefs, people just go with it, kind of thing, right?
And it's usually because, there's no proof or there's no social media back in the day. It was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know our ages will be revealed, but yeah, that happened during the 80s, 60s, 70s,
Right.
and probably early 90s. So I'm a 90s kid. Are you a 90s kid or an 80s kid?
I'm an 80s kid.
Oh my God, I knew it. But anyway, I was just overreacting. Okay, so yeah, I think it's just a thing for 90s kids and,
Okay.
older kids. But probably these days, modern kids don't really give a, about that.
I guess. I mean, yeah, like more, like I guess nowadays, superstitions don't really have that much of an impact. I guess. I don't know. Just like kids today just don't give a shit about that, I guess.
Exactly.
Right.
And in fact, I also asked my Japanese friends about these superstitions, and I asked about their opinions, and they don't really care much. So, in fact, most of them kind of laughed at it, and they're like, why do you know things like that? And I'm
Yeah.
like, because I'm here and I want to know your culture, and
Yeah,
I,
right?
I I just wanna know how you feel about it. And most of them, which I'm not surprised, most of them are like, well, it's a thing about obatans and ojitans.
Right,
So
right. Yeah.
obatan meaning grandmothers
Grandmothers.
and
Yeah.
grandfathers, but it's actually an interesting thing for them. And although they don't pay much attention to it, sometimes they unconsciously do
It's still
for the
there, right?
thrill of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like I can see it and feel it too, like with myself. Like some of those things, like stupid, and they don't mean anything. But like no unlucky numbers, or like the thing with the salt. If you spill salt while cooking or whatever, you need like to throw it over your shoulder to ward off evil spirits. Like things like that. Even though it's stupid, you just do it because someone else maybe when you were younger, like used to do it and it kind of stuck with you. Like yeah, there are things like that. It's weird.
So, do you have anything else to share about superstitions, like back in your country or back there in Canada? Have you ever heard of some superstitions that are, quite interesting as well?
Not really. I'm not a very superstitious person as it is, so I don't really pay attention to those, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no, there are like the more like all the common ones. No one with the salt, no with black cats, and don't walk under a ladder,
The
like
latter, yeah.
that kind of stuff, right? Everybody knows those. Um, yeah, no, not really actually. I don't.
Well, well, this is also something which is kind of funny that a lot of Japanese people still believe in. So I didn't mention this earlier, but the thing about eating noodles,
Right.
so don't cut them using your chopsticks, or don't cut them while you're eating,
Okay.
because it's like the length of your noodles is like the length of your life.
Huh.
So the more you eat them thoroughly, the longer your life will be.
Interesting. So is it why when people eat their like udons and stuff like that, they just go like
Probably, yeah. And you can see that in some scenes on anime. They just usually thoroughly
yeah.
eat the
You just like, keep
noodles.
going and going and going and going. You're like, what happens if you just have like literally 5 noodles in your ramen, but it's like 5 super long noodles, and you grab them at the same time? You're just like sucking on your noodle for like 10 minutes.
Well, they also believe that if you cut them, then that would only be the length of your life, or the length of the
Oh,
good luck in your
right.
life.
So it doesn't necessarily say don't cut them. It just says if you cut them, watch out because you're not gonna live very long.
Yeah, but
Right.
come on, think about it. Like, okay, if let's say that it's true. So how many bowls of noodles would be correct to like identify the length of your luck and the shortness of your life? Because like, imagine how many bowls of noodles you're gonna eat every week,
That's true.
right? So it's pretty interesting, and at the same time, it's like, I mean, come on, superstitions are obviously not true.
Yeah.
But like, if we try to find some logic about it, it just doesn't really make any sense.
It really doesn't make sense. I think like a lot of them probably come from like urban legends, right?
I
Like
think so
like
too.
someone a long time ago like had a bad experience one day, something happened one day, and they just went back to okay, what did I do that day that could have caused that? And it's like boom, I found something. Right.
That makes sense. And it's probably also about the not taking pictures.
Yeah.
I don't know. That thing really stuck in my mind. Probably a lot of people experience that, I think.
Yeah. Ken wants a ramen bowl now. Well, wait. Ken wants a ramen bowl made of a single 30-foot long noodle.
Oh, wow. If you notice, well, to be fair, if you notice the ramen noodle makers or
Yep.
the udon makers, when they make, when
Hmm.
they make ramen, they try to make it as long as
As
they
long as
want,
possible, yeah.
and they don't cut it.
That's true.
They don't cut it. They just, do
Yeah.
that thing
Yeah.
like a jumping rope,
Yep.
and then they don't literally cut it. They just, they just put it in a bundle,
Hmm.
and then they just put it straight to the
That's true.
casserole, or
That's true.
yeah.
So like, I mean, technically, all the noodles you have in your bowl of ramen or like udon bowl and stuff, they're like just a few noodles, but very long ass noodles a lot of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. I remember that. I go to that ramen place, not too far from here, called Jinya, and it's like a fairly authentic Japanese ramen place. A lot of Japanese people working there actually,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, they make their own noodles like that, and yeah, you see them do what you say, like just stretch that
Right?
shit as much as they can. It's interesting.
Yeah, although I've never seen anyone cutting noodles in half or just cutting them literally.
Hmm.
It's probably, if not in a superstitious way, it's probably to make the noodles intact.
Right,
Or
right.
because if you cut them, they'd probably be out of shape or whatever. I'm not
Maybe.
really sure.
Yeah, maybe
I-
that must be some good reason for it.
I mean, I'm not a ramen expert, but I'm just trying to guess,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's it for
That's it.
the superstitions and spooky shits.
A little story that Ken is sharing.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you can tell me about it because you are also Filipino.
Uh-huh.
His mother used to tell them to never take a drink of anything until the plate was empty.
I
Is-
don't know that. Could you explain that to me, Ken?
Is it like more of a superstition thing, or is it like more of a meal etiquette thing?
I think it's more of a meal etiquette thing, because we do believe that if if you drink, you get full easily, so
Right.
you're not going to be able to finish your food. But yeah, I've never heard any superstition about that though.
Actually, that makes sense what you say, especially from coming from a parent, right? They'd want you to eat your food rather than fill yourself up with water or juice or whatever.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It would be just a trick, to scare the kids. Don't drink before you eat. Ooh.
But there are also some superstitions that somehow make sense.
Okay.
Such as
Like
you
what?
should not you should not walk under the ladder, because who knows, there might be some paint on top of the ladder,
Right.
and
I mean,
something might fall and hit your head, or
right, like walking on the ladder is like what, 7 years of bad luck or some shit. I don't know, but like some stupid things like that. It makes sense on the like on the practical point of view. Because,
Uh-huh.
like, why would you walk on the ladder, especially if someone is on the ladder doing some work? Because, like you said, like something just could fall on you. So, like, there's a practical aspect of it. And then to make it, like, to emphasize on it, I guess, that became a superstition of don't walk under that thing. Like, it just makes it scary. Right?
Okay.
Especially when when you think about older times. Like, a lot of people did things or didn't do things based on how scared they were of stuff they didn't understand.
Oh.
Right? I mean, that's why pretty much all religions have a version of hell.
Yeah.
Because hell is just a way to scare people who believe in the religions. Like, okay, like, don't be an ass or you're gonna go to hell. Right? Whether it exists or not, no, it's up for debate. We're not gonna talk about this right now, but like, I think superstition is like kind of the same thing, right? It's like, don't
Yeah.
do this because there probably is a practical reason not to do that, but finding a more scary supernatural reason like is more impactful, and you may be more inclined to not do the thing because
Yeah.
of that, right?
And I also-
I'm thinking like maybe like we started with the not putting your pillow like facing north or something like that, because it means you're gonna die. Maybe it has something to do with the way houses and stuff are built in Japan,
Oh.
right? Maybe houses face a certain way because of tradition or whatever, and maybe if you put your like in most houses, if you have your futon and your pillow facing north, that means that you're gonna be like you're gonna have your futon like placed in a way in the room that is not actually practical,
I guess
right?
so.
Because like let's say like the main door is facing north, and you don't want your
Mm.
pillow to be facing north. Because in Japan, you basically sleep on a futon on the ground. What if someone walks in the door real fast, didn't see you, and stepped on your face, right? Like you don't want this to happen.
That's like so creative, Florence.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of reasons, like for those kind of superstitions, right? More practical reasons.
I'd like to share another Filipino superstition though.
Okay.
I don't know if Ken knows this. So when we were kids, my mom often tells me if you drop your fork during a meal, a guy will visit you. And then if you drop a spoon during a meal, then it would be a girl. And I was like, "Oh, really?" So I kept on dropping a fork. Where's the guy? Mom!
Oh, that's
I
funny.
dropped my fork! Mom! And then my mom was like, "You did that intentionally. Nobody will visit you. Nobody, you did that intentionally. It should not be intentionally." And I believe that
That's funny.
on my whole life. And I'm not overacting, but I believed that until I was 15. Oh my god.
That's funny.
Yeah, and I kept doing that. And oh my god, I still remember. Kept on doing that during the meals. Nobody visited.
Oh no. So sad. People must have been looking at you weird though. Like, what the hell is she doing? just throwing her fork on the floor there. She looks so angry.
But yeah, that's just one of the superstitions that I really couldn't forget and unfortunately believed until I was 15.
That's funny. Ken is like, I wish my mom had told me that and have been dropping spoons left and right. I would have been like, I would have tossed the whole utensil drawer back then for the whole shit.
But again, my mom said unintentionally.
It has to be unintentionally.
Yeah, it has to be.
What if you go like, oops? Does that work?
Next. Okay, so I guess that's it. And that's all I can say. Do you still have the background music on though?
It is actually still on.
Oh, so well, I'd like to give recognition to the music background. So it was composed by Darren Curtis,
Yes.
and the title of the music is "Will You Sing Me Sweet Little Lullaby?" Yeah, and you can actually find it on YouTube.
On YouTube, yes. I will put the link in the description below for the people interested. It's very short music. We chose it because it has a spooky spirit and it's not super loud, and it goes well in the loop. At least that's why I chose it. But
also, Florence, so our next episode will be on November 2nd in Vancouver time. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. That's November 2nd, 6 p.m. Vancouver time. And November 3rd, that's Sunday, 9 a.m. Manila time and 10 a.m. Tokyo time.
Yes. What is our next episode going to be about?
That is going to be a secret for now.
It's a secret for now, aka we have no idea yet.
Yeah, that's it. That's just pretty much it. I was not supposed to say that, but anyway.
I want to say though, we do have several episodes planned already for the future. We have ideas of what we're gonna do for future episodes going forward.
Mm-hmm.
This being said, we don't actually know what the next one is gonna be. It's one of those few where it's like, hey, we'll figure it out in a couple of days.
And on the next episode, I'd also like to share another strange product. And I'm going to try it also for if you guys are interested, you can you can buy it if you come here. But yeah, by the way, this not that I'm promoting, but this
Ha-
is just this
ha-
is just a
hashtag
yeah.
not sponsored.
Yes, this is not sponsored, but so this is Jagabi. This is just a limited edition of one of the chips here in Japan.
Right.
It may or it may come back next year. It may probably not. They
Okay.
always try new stuff every year. So yeah, I might not see this next year, but it's pretty good. It seriously looks
It
gross.
actually looks like it went bad and it's moldy. It's so
It
weird.
does. You can actually play a trick on your friends or your
Right? Just like, hey, look, I made fries. There you go. Sorry, I might have left them out a little too long.
but they're still good.
They're still good and crunchy. Mm.
Okay, that's it for today. And yeah, anything else you'd like to say, Florence?
It doesn't have a special flavor. What the flavor is? Consomme?
Consomme. That's just MSG.
MSG. Yeah, MSG flavor.
I don't know why it's called consomme though. It's in
It's like
katakana.
Yeah, consomme is like kind of like usually vegetable stock kind of thing that you use in soups and things like that.
Is it French?
Yes, it is French.
So that's why
That's
Japanese people like French.
They do
We
like French. Why?
I don't know. I'm not Japanese. You ask them.
This is
I'm
weird.
gonna have to ask Shingo. Then.
Yeah, what's up with Japanese people like liking French things so much? They have like stores with like French words and French names.
I know, right?
Which makes no goddamn sense half the time.
We should probably make an episode about that.
we might have to do that. We might have to make an episode for that. It'll be pretty funny. But yeah, anyway, anything we wanted to add?
I guess that's all for now. Yeah.
That's it for now. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for watching us. Those were here live. Those watching us on YouTube or listening to us on Google Play, iTunes, and Spotify. Thanks for listening to us. You can find me live a lot of the time on twitch.tv/fsanporte. Jenny, have you started your YouTube channel yet?
Not yet, but I'm actually preparing for a blog.
Ooh. All right. Jenny will have her blog and hopefully vlog up very soon. So we'll start sharing those links when she does. It's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
We will see you all in what? A couple of weeks now? November 2nd, Vancouver time. November 3rd, Tokyo, Manila time. For our next episode. Keep up. If you want to keep updated, just follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those places, social media things. I'll be on there. Right?
Social media things.
Social media things. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
All right. And yeah, everybody have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God.
See the sky, glowing lights, slow decline, loss of shine. life opens new roads, new roads. And there it goes, life opens new